Today on the workbench we have a Nikon D70 digital SLR camera. The issue with the camera is the flash. It does not pop. It does pop up and act like it's going to work, but it does not actually flash or pop. The way we could tell that it is a mechanical issue and not a electrical issue is a simple test. Set your camera to auto mode, have it in dark area, or in this case I've got the lens cap on. I'll turn it on, press this halfway in, the flash should pop up, and so that alone tells us mechanically it's functioning. Electrically, I'm sorry, the other way around. So now we go to push this, and you notice so there's a signal that's happening telling the flash, hey, we need to pop up, we're going to go to work. But as you see, it's already up and signal's not happening. We have two screws, one there and one there. Now the size of the screws is 000 and it is a Phillips head. You're going to need a PH000 screwdriver to remove those. You need to be careful when you're dealing with the screws. As you see, they're really tiny and can be lost real easy. Take the cap off. It snaps into place here, so you're trying to get that off. Some flashes you can actually have room to get your hand up in there. Okay, so we got one side off. There we go. Our issue is on this side of the camera. You notice a little white peg right there, and then a little metal hook. That's the issue. That little metal hook needs to hook around that plastic tab to complete the circuit. So when you push this, pops up the flash. That is supposed to pull that switch up just slightly to make contact with those electrical contacts right there. Okay, so here's a close-up view of what we're actually working with. You see the white little tab that should come out further, so this little switch, this little hook here, hooks onto it, and as you see down here, it makes contact, and that completes the circuit. That tells the flash to pop. I gotta tell you, this is really tiny pieces. So we need to get this to hook back up there. Thing is, as you can see, that is not long enough to reach this. Sometimes those little guys break, but it don't appear that this one has broke. If it did break, you could try gluing a toothpick in there and extending it out for the hook. Sometimes those little sleeves, this little plastic guy, slides all the way in there and you're able to pull it back out, get this to hook adequately. So that's what we're going to do, is try to get that to come out further so it can properly hook and allow the flash to work properly. Now you want to make sure you turn your camera off. You could even remove the battery pack if you'd like. Turn the switch on, wait about 10 minutes, let the circuitry completely drain. These wires are electrical wires, and then they run on up to the flash here, and we have a capacitor, and that capacitor could bite you. We're going to try to pull that plastic housing out. Give that thing a nice tug, and I'm sure you've seen that move. This whole section, the hinge and everything moved. Now you can see how far out I've got it pulled out, and now I got to try to get the hinge back on that white piece, and then I think once I get that to do that, being like Flynn. Oh, gee willikers. Just got zapped. Don't do that. I think my metal tool closed the circuit on that, and then my finger was touching this, the camera lug, and created a circuit. And let's try that again, shall we? Okay, so what I've done was I've pulled the flash from the spring on the left side so I could move it freely a little bit. While I was off camera working on this, I zapped myself again by touching that contact and then the camera lug over here. Let me show you. Zap here and then one right there. Be careful. It can hurt you. Another side note, be careful when you're working with sharp metal objects. While I was pulling on that off screen, my tool, this one actually, pulled out of the hole, and when it did, you can see my screen right there. It's superficial. Could have been worse, but accidents can happen. Just be careful. Hey, look at that. You could definitely see it a lot better. We got a little plastic post right there and the hook. And as you can see, it's lined up for success. Now I just have to get this put back on, put the screw in it, put the spring on, and we're ready to go. There we go. Well, I hope I got that on camera, but it snapped in. So now we need to put the spring in here with the set screw. The small end sits down in here, and then the big end clips to there. Alright, now we have put the hood back on, and for that it should just be as simple as this. Went to go try it out, and not enough tension on that spring. I obviously put the spring in wrong. Alright, so what had happened with the spring was the small end I had butting up here, which reality it needed to come down in front just a little bit. And once that happens, it works. Let's button this up and we'll give it a shot. Here it is, the moment of truth. Will it work? Let's find out. That's a good sign. And I think we have success. How exciting.